Welcome to our hygiene compensation formula video. This video, second only to class 4.2, same-day dentistry, will get you the most return on your investment. These are the two videos that will increase production, patient service, and collections faster than any other classes. As a hygienist, I'm going to let you in on a little secret. Hygienists are producers, yet most practices don't compensate them as such, and I have been an owner and a hygienist, and I just don't understand why. Imagine paying an associate dentist a salary. Would you do that? Would you pay a doctor $150,000 a year or more if they didn't produce at least $300,000 a year or more? Of course you wouldn't. So why do owners continue to pay hygienists when the hygienists don't have any skin in the game? I'm not saying hygienists are doctors or should build equity in the practice, but I am saying owners should not breed laziness in their producers by paying them a salary. I am also not suggesting you cut your hygienist's pay if they aren't producing for you. I am suggesting there is a lot to offer your patients in the hygiene department. And as a service to your patients, give your hygienist a reason to offer the best to them by compensating them properly. Prevention is not a necessary evil service just to diagnose restorative work. Preventative medicine is better for the patient than therapeutic or restorative. So offer it and make it profitable. In my 30 years of experience, there is one compensation formula for hygienists that is a triple win. A win for the practice, a win for the hygienist, and a win for the patients. Hygienists currently paid a salary or hourly wage, and most are, will not want to completely go on commission, especially if the continuing care system is lacking. And many hygienists can't see a reason to care about the practice any more than a salary pays them because they aren't owners. But there is a compensation formula, not a bonus system, but a compensation formula that will get a hygienist to become innovative and serve the patient's individual needs more often than when they are just being paid to do trophies. So, to get your hygienist to become innovative, number one, do not change their hourly wage. They won't like it. But then add this formula. Take the hygienist production goal. And if you don't know what that is, watch the previous episode of 6.1 to know how to set a hygienist goal. Let's say each hygienist goal is a $1,200 day in production. Any production dollars above $1,200, the hygienist gets a percentage of. I start them at 15% of dollars above goal. And then in 6 months, if successful and you're both happy, I bump them up to 20%. But 20% is the cap because it is a percentage. From here on out, if they want to make more money, production must go up. Base salary doesn't change, but be sure and let them know their production goal does change if I increase the fees. Those are the only changes. So here's an example. Back to a hygienist whose goal is $1,200. He or she produces $1,500 on a particular day. That's $300 above goal. 20% of $300 is $60 in additional compensation. The practice got an additional $240 that day. And I'm telling you, the practice will get additional dollars much more often than ever before by implementing this formula. If there are still more than half of the month's days where goals aren't achieved, look at your continuing care system. But even then, I've had hygienists who have had 4 out of 8 patients cancel in one day and still hit a $2,200 day because they found additional needs on the 4 patients that showed up. For example, I was working with a client and observing their hygienist whose schedule fell apart, but she had a 12-year-old whose mom wanted all of his molars and premolars sealed. Of course, that hygienist had some extra time because of the cancellations, but she didn't reschedule those sealants. She got them done that day because she had a benefit for herself. The other thing that happens is hygienists become more courageous and present more periodontal therapy instead of putting on their superhero cape and trying to get all the calculus off in an hour, then charging out only a pro fee because it's easier than to have to tell the patient that they're sick. This formula, get hygienists present the need for more full mouth series, panos, or 3D scans. There's all kinds of things we can talk about in our other courses to raise the standard of care for your patients. Some hygienists will argue, I already do this. I offer the highest standard of care. That is great and good for them, but even the best hygienists have increased their production with this formula. There seems to always be room for improvement. Make sure your hygienists put all production except for exam under their own provider or provider name or number in the management software. This will make it simple to calculate their production for the day. And yes, everything but exams. It takes a lot of time, effort, and courage to present treatment and deal with those patients patient objections. So yes, x-rays, periotherapy, sealants, night guards, whitening, whatever they present in clothes. Hygienists are very capable of discussing and selling these procedures so the doctor doesn't have to. Then hygienists are to create a spreadsheet with the dates of the month that they worked, their goal, the gross production for each day, the dollars above goal, and the dollars owed to them to submit to payroll each month. The question I get asked most is, do you still include the hygienist in the team bonus? And I suggest yes. This is still a team sport, and they have multiple ways of helping the rest of the team out to reach overall production goals. If your hygienist can be licensed in local anesthetic, they can help by numbing restorative patients. They can be a restorative, cosmetic, orthodontic, sleep apnea treatment advocate. The list goes on and on, so include them. I still get asked, what about the days they don't hit the goal? Do you take money away? No, and I hate that attitude. They still get their hourly wage like they always did, but nothing extra that day. As a partner in 4 practices, I was happy to pay an extra $60 to the hygienist that made the practice an extra $240, several more days a month. I'll play that game all day long. I hope you see that this is a triple win for your patients, your hygienist, and for the owners. Get the patients the care they need, and both the hygienist and the practice get properly paid for it. That's it, guys. If you have any questions about this formula, please let me know. Shoot me an email.